What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got, we got Real Iron Eagle, $17 Rumble Rant. Thank you with boom, boom, boom. And we got Sandy Star White, $17 Rumble Rant with fight, fight, fight. And fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Thank you guys, everybody, so much for being here. And yes, that's exactly what we do. And I think that we're finally starting to see some results of the fight that you all have been making here. This has been an unbelievable battle that we have been fighting on this show for the last 7 years to beat it into the heads of human beings that the reality that you are in is only the reality that you can prove to be true. And thank you so much for carrying on this journey, because the water that you picked up to carry is not that for everyone to carry. And you can clearly see that not everyone is willing to look at the truth. Very, very few people are willing to look at the cold, hard truths of the world that we are living in right now. And you guys out there are seeing the fruits of your labor. You're seeing the fruits of digging deep and understanding, do I really think this? Is this really real? What is the benefit of them getting something out of me by like my attention? And you're seeing it clearly, and God bless each and every one of you for it, because the journey from here forward isn't going to be easy either, but we can see the fruits of our labor coming to fruition.
17 Patriots for Truth. Happy Taco Tuesday. Tuesday. I see what you did there. Happy Tuesday to you as well. $17 Rumble Rant. Shady, I want to real quick, something I was just kind of like, oh, who's Candace Owens' husband, Shady?
Oh, yeah. It's interesting.
Wow. So, shall we play a game?
Let's play it.
Find the spiders and build the web, the map, Shady.
Yes.
Remember, they consider you the fly, specifically the feeder. Remember, they never thought she was going to lose. Therefore, they never thought investigations and or public interest into their criminal acts would be exposed or investigated. Therefore, they never thought they had anything to fear. Therefore, they openly showcased their symbolism. Therefore, they were sloppy. Hussein's last speech in Chicago regarding scandal-free, why did he continue to emphasize that phrase? As a backup, they infiltrated and control the narrative, the MSM. As a backup, they install only those on the team. As a backup, they blackmail those that aren't. As a backup, they defined conspiracy as crazy, mentally unstable, and label anything true as such. This works given most of what they engage in is pure evil and simply unbelievable, hard to swallow. The fix has always been in, no matter which party won the election. JFK killed, Reagan shot. This is This was always the promise made to those who played the game willingly or otherwise. In other words, they would never lose power. Power of the three-letter agencies, power over the U.S. military, worldwide dominance to push against other nations and install like kind. These people are really stupid. Follow the husbands. Another hint, Ian Cameron, McKinsey & Company, Clowns in America, Dr. Emmett J. Rice, Federal Reserve, everyone is connected. How about a nice game of chess, Shady?
Thank you, sir. I would like one.
Right. So let's go look. What do you think about this, guys?
That hasn't, actually, not that I've seen, but there's a real chance that we could do something, so you may have some questions on that later. But in the meantime, we'll spend some time and we'll make some deals and we'll do some things that are good for both of our countries. And Mark, it's an honor to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. If I may, you kindly hosted me and some of my colleagues a few months ago, and I said at the time, you are a transformative president. And since then, the transformation in the economy, unprecedented commitments of NATO partners to defense spending, peace from India, Pakistan through to Azerbaijan, Armenia, disabling Iran as a force of terror, and now, and I'm running out of time, but this is in many respects the most important.
The
what
merger
you created
of Canada
no,
and the
what
United
you
States.
have created. That wasn't where I was going. I would no, but on this solemn day of commemoration of the October horrific attacks of October 7th, for the first time in decades, hundreds of years, thousands of years, this prospect of peace that you've made possible. Canada stands foursquare behind those efforts, and we'll do whatever we can to support
Very
them.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Is there any, what would it take for you to drop or lower your tariffs on Canadian sectors, including aluminum and steel?
Well, we're going to be talking about that.
We don't want the American people to win with tariffs because we're MSM. We want you guys to rot in hell. Why are you going to, when are you going to lower the tariffs?
But
Wow.
isn't it, but so interesting that is the thing that is on the forefront of their mind. You would think that no reporter would really even care about tariffs, right? I mean, they never talked about a tariff before. You literally never heard a reporter mention the word tariff before Donald Trump. But as soon as he starts to negotiate and try to like take on the bilateral talks, they get freaked out because they want all of these free trade deals that Bush did and that Clinton did that literally sell our country down the river for nothing, and they don't want that to end.
With the Prime Minister, we'll be talking about tariffs. We'll be talking about a lot of that, but that's for a little bit later on.
Has the Prime Minister
I want to just acknowledge our great ambassador. Is he doing a good job?
He's doing a good job.
Otherwise, I'll get him out of there so fast.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. Okay? Thank you.
All right, who loves that answer? Me.
That is the best answer. There's no way you could answer
Love
that
it.
question better.
Love it.
Love it.
Mr. President, in your opinion, why has Canada and the United States failed to reach an agreement up until now?
Well, it's a complicated agreement, more complicated maybe than any other agreement we have on trade, because, you know, we have natural conflict. We also have mutual love. You know, we have great love for each other. I love this. I love Canada and the people of Canada. And Mark feels the same way about here. The problem we have is that they want a car company and I want a car company, meaning the U.S. wants a car company. And they want steel and we want steel. And, you know, so in other countries, they're very far away. And there's no problem. You can compete and you can do. We don't like to compete because we sort of hurt each other when we compete. And so we have a natural conflict. It's a natural business conflict. Nothing wrong with it. And I think we've come a long way over the last few months, actually, in terms of that relationship. So when it comes to trade, the United States was always giving everything. They gave everything to Canada. And they would, you know, let car companies leave here and go to Canada. But that hurts the United States. And, other presidents didn't see that. They weren't business-oriented. They might have been good politicians in some cases, not in all cases. They were bad at both. But it's a very natural conflict, and it's something that we're working on.
Canada has offered a lot of compromise this summer. Are you willing today to offer some compromise to Canada, maybe on steel and aluminum?
Well, we've made compromise, and we've made some compromise even on steel. But we have the same basic authority and the same basic. This could be also a little bit of a conflict with other countries all over the world on steel, because we want to make our own steel. We don't want to bring steel in for the most part, but we will bring it in, and we do bring it in. We continue to bring it in from Canada, but there is a tariff to pay. And I think that would be a normal thing to say, but we've come a long way. I think, Howard, we can truly say, do you want to make a comment on that?
Well, I think the opportunity to work together, but as you've said, there's conflict. Why do we make cars in Canada? You've called that out, and you've addressed that. So there are places we should work together, and there are places that we have natural conflict.
It's a tough situation because we want to make our cars here. At the same time, we want Canada to do well making cars. So we're working on formulas, and I think we'll get there.
Canadians are refusing to go to the U.S. The numbers are down like 23% in the first 7 months of the year. What do you say to Canadians that don't want to go to the U.S. now because of your 51st state talk, because of the trade war, the tariffs, and the fear of also...
Look, I understand that, and Americans don't want to buy cars that are made in Canada. We have the same conflict. So there isn't... It's something that will get worked out. There's still great love between the two countries, but American people want product here. They want to make it here. Detroit was emptied out and moved to Canada, moved to Mexico, moved to other places, not just Canada. And now they're all moving back, they're moving back. We have, right now, I was just telling Mark, we have 17 trillion, but it's really much higher. That was as of a couple of months ago. We have over $17 trillion being invested now in the United States. As an example, Biden, he was the worst president we've ever had, but they had less than $1 trillion in 4 years. We have more than 17 trillion in 8 months. 8 months. And I think that number is going to be $22 trillion. There's never been anything like that in the history of the world for any country, not even close. If you did 1 trillion in a year, that's pretty good. We're going to do over 20. And it's coming in with AI, it's coming in with auto plants. We're building auto plants, a lot of auto plants in the U.S. It's coming in for a lot of reasons. It's coming in because of the fact, I think the November 5th election was a big factor, and I think the tariffs are a big factor. And again, we want Canada to do great, but there's a point at which we also want the same business. We're competing for the same business. That's the problem. That's why I keep mentioning one way to solve that problem is a very easy way. But we're competing for the same business. He wants to make cars, we want to make cars, and we're in competition. And the advantage we have is we have this massive market. So it's quite an advantage.
For a second, are you planning to invoke the Insurrection Act? That would be, a very long-standing war of law that's been on the books.
Yeah, well, it's been invoked before, as you know. If you look at Chicago, Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. And if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. It's all very simple. They probably had 50 murders in Chicago over the last 5, 6, 7 months. Many people were shot. And then the governor gets up and he says, well, we can handle it. They can't handle it. They don't know what they're doing. The mayor is grossly incompetent. He's at a 4% approval rating in Chicago. He's at a 4%, lowest approval rating, lower than even de Blasio had, which is hard to believe in New York. I thought de Blasio would always maintain that record, but the Chicago guy is even lower. So I think that we want safe cities. If you look at D.C., you would right now, Mark, you could go out, take your family out to dinner, you could walk right down the middle of the street. There is no crime in D.C. when I got here, this place was a raging hellhole. Come from Canada, people would come from other places and end up getting shot. Nobody's being shot. The National Guard's been unbelievable. I mean, they are strong, tough guys. You know, we won something at the Supreme Court, which is a big deal, merit. Everything now in this country is merit-based. I didn't think I'd ever see it again. And we have our soldiers are merit-based too, and they're central casting. And they walk through that town, and I'll tell you what, this place is safe. It's beautiful. Now we're in Memphis, and the same thing's happening. You're getting the reports. The bad guys are saying, we don't want anything to do with this. And we're removing many people. In D.C., we took out 1,700 career criminals and sent them back to the countries from which they came, mostly led out by Biden and his people that had an open border policy. And you know, Canada, you suffered because of that too, because they'd come here and they'd go into Canada also. So we're like a buffer for that in terms of, Canada suffered greatly by Biden and the open border, the policy of open border, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. And these people were, you know, if you got 5%, 2%, now you were getting a lot of bad people. And we now have a closed border. Yep. You've done well. Yep. We have a closed border, and it's a really closed border. In fact, for 4 months, I don't even know if this is possible, but the figures were released. 0 people were able to come into the United States from the southern border. 0. And as you know, we've taken a very hard stand on drugs. This is also benefiting you. A lot of we call them the water drugs, the drugs that come in through water. They're not coming. There are no boats anymore. Frankly, there are no fishing boats. There's no boats out there, period. If you want to know the truth, we're saying, does anybody go fishing anymore? The fact is, we knocked out, probably saved at least 100,000 lives, American lives, Canadian lives, by taking out all those boats coming in. So it's, and now they don't come in.
Real quick, a land of Hoya. We got 17 trillion. And then we've got, POTUS. If POTUS says 17 again, I'll be in the poorhouse. Come on, POTUS, let's go.
Now they'll come in other ways, and we're not going to allow that either. So we've done a great job on that. But on crime, Chicago's a great city. But you can't be a great city if you have murders and if you have a lot of problems, and they do. And they have an incompetent policy, just like they had open border policy, anybody could come in. They came in from prisons, they came in from mental institutions, drug dealers, they came in from all over the place, and we don't have that anymore. This country is becoming we're a very strong country. Look, financially speaking, I would say that because of the tariffs, because of the election, because of the policy, because of the great big beautiful deal. It's what I added the word great because it really is. It's the biggest bill ever passed in the history of our country. We don't need another bill. It's the biggest tax cuts, I mean, when you think no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime for the people. But far beyond that, what it does is incentivizes auto plans and AI and all of the things that nobody's ever passed a bill like it. We don't need another bill. We don't need any more bills. I said, let's get it all at once. I was greatly helped by our Speaker, Mike Johnson, and by the Senate. I'll tell you what, John Thune's both of those guys have been incredible. And we got a bill passed that I said, let's see if we can get it all done. Because these Democrats are like insurrectionists, okay? They're so bad for our country. Their policy is so bad for our country. I said, let's see if we can get it all done and everybody said it's not doable. Because it's the biggest bill ever passed in the history of our country. And we got it all done. We don't need anything else. We got everything we want. And now, because of that, that's a big reason why the companies are coming in. You know, 1 year depreciation, 1 year write-off, 1 year expensing. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. So they're coming in from all over the world. But to have a great country, you can't have crime. And we don't have crime, but we have cities where there's tremendous crime. And Chicago's one of them. And if the governor can't straighten it out, we'll straighten it out. Thank you. Question. a question for the president.
Do you remain
Mr.
committed to, are
Mr.
you?
Prime Minister, I'd like to know how come the UK and the European Union have succeeded to sign deals and bring the tariffs down, and Canada still hasn't been able to do the same?
Yeah, because they're not located right next to each other. It makes it, in many cases, it's much better and easier, but
Yeah, and
please.
if I may, let's be clear about the relationship as it stands right now. We are the second largest trading partner of the United States. We do a lot of trade going across the border where we're cooperating, first thing. Secondly, we are the largest foreign investor in the United States. $500 billion in the last 5 years alone, probably $8 trillion in the next 5 years if we get the agreement that we expect to get. Thirdly, there are areas, as the President just said, where conflict, maybe not so much conflict, we compete. There are areas where we compete, and it's in those areas where we have to come to an agreement that works. But there are more areas where we are stronger together, and that's what we're focused on. And we're going to get the right deal. Right deal for America, right deal, obviously, from my perspective, for Canada.
Including one thing that, wait. So one thing where we are working very closely is the Golden Dome. That's the protective mechanism, and you see how that works. It's unbelievable. Ronald Reagan wanted to have it, and at that time they didn't have the technology, and even close to the technology, but he was advanced, and we'll be working together on a Golden Dome for the...
Oh no, don't put Canada under the dome.
It's going to be very important, especially when you look at the world, you look at what's happening. We want to have that protection. It's really amazing. The technology is unbelievable.
Mr. President, why do you say some federal workers should not get their back pay? Why do you say some?
Well, you're going to have to figure that out, okay? Ask the Democrats that question.
Mr. President, just to follow up there, I mean, the law says that when the government is reopened, that workers will receive their back pay. So are you going to defy the law there, or what are you hoping?
I follow the law, and what the law says is correct, and I follow the law.
Mr. President, will Canada be leaving empty-handed, or will will Mr. Carney be leaving Washington with a deal on tariffs?
I think they're going to be very happy. We have a lot of things that we're working on that people don't talk about. They talk about, competitiveness. She's a very competitive person. And they talk about things that we don't necessarily agree on. But I think they're going to walk away very happy. I think so.
On all your trade deals that you've signed, there's been a minimum tariff that countries have got. When USMCA gets renegotiated, do you want a minimum tariff on goods between Canada and the US?
Well, we're going to have tariffs between Canada, and, they have them with us. I will say with our farmers, as you know, they went up to as much as 400%, 250, 300, and even one at 401. We found one having to do with a very small product, but it was...
Now, let's remember, Friday, we were talking about the farmers and why it's so important to have this straightened out, guys. Wow.
I think that it's really interesting, the conversation that the press is like being forced to have right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, this is like Americanism 101 for the press, because the press doesn't really know what America is. They have this like twisted idea of, this communist thing that they're trying to work towards. They have no association with what the country actually is. What Trump is saying right there is very important, because part of the press narrative is that America wants to just be a big bully and dominate and push everybody around in the room. I think that it's clear that that's not what Donald Trump is doing right now with Canada. It's an association. It's an agreement. It's a cooperation. It's the way that Donald Trump works with every single thing he interfaces with, and they screw it all up and like twist it all around and take it out of context and make it seem like he means things he doesn't, and make it seem like his jokes are for real and take him literally no matter what he says. Like it's the press that are learning here. You guys all know what's up.
Trump takes a laser pointer and they're like the cats.
It's 100% the perfect analogy. And they will literally never not chase the laser.
It's so good.
It's so good.
All right, back to the meeting here. Here we go.
It was high. So we've always had tariffs between the two of us. And actually, Canada was charging us very high tariffs on our agricultural things, a lot of our agricultural product. And that's one of the things that we talk about for bringing that down. So, this is a mutual thing, but we've been charged tariffs. Look, we're the king of being screwed by tariffs, just so you understand. And I'm not talking about with Canada, I'm talking about with countries all over the world.
We're taking it.
When you look at Europe, when you look at China, when you look at all of the, almost every country charged the U.S., we didn't charge them. Because we were led by stupid people in many cases. Stupid people. They took advantage of our country. They're not taking advantage of us anymore. If you looked at European Union, they're all my friends. I don't blame them. I blame our presidents. I blame our past presidents and, business leaders. But we are the king of countries that have been taken advantage of for many, many years. We've been paying trillions and trillions of dollars and receiving nothing at all. As an example, prior to the deal with Europe, where they pay a lot of money, but they're happy and I'm happy, the deal was good, it's a fair deal, but it wasn't fair. You couldn't put a car into Europe, you couldn't sell your agriculture into Europe, you couldn't do anything. And now we have it so that it's open. We charge them tariffs. We didn't charge them tariffs a car, they charge us tremendous. I said to Angela Merkel once, I said, how many cars have gone to Germany from the United States? And she said, well, I don't believe any. And I said, you're right. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. And they're paying a fair amount. It's just a fair amount. It's not, I could ask for much more. It's a fair amount. But the United States now is using the same thing that they've used on us. And I just can't believe it's taken presidents so long to do this. And again, we're going to treat people fairly. We're going to especially treat Canada fairly. But I can't believe it's taken so long where we get charged and don't charge them. Japan was a good example. We made a deal with Japan. You saw that, Mark? A deal with Japan. It's a much different deal than we've had in the past. But they would send us millions of cars, no charge. We weren't allowed to send them cars. We sent them no cars. I doubt you had one car go into Japan because we were restricted. They didn't want our cars. Same thing with Europe, same thing with other places. So now all we do now is fairness, but fairness leads us to the most successful country there's ever been. We have some advantages over other countries, and we do have a great market. We have an amazing market. But you know what? If I let this go, if we didn't win this election, if we had these people that were running, that were ruining our country, destroying our country with their open borders and men playing in women's sports and transgender from everybody and windmills all over the place. If we allowed that to go on for another couple of years, we would be, I'm not sure that we'd even have a country.
Going forward,
Mr. President, how do you see this?
By the way, I'm not sure we would have even had a country. And now we have the most successful country in the world. Brian?
Yes, sir. What is your message to Democrats ahead of a next vote to open up the government? The American people are saying, open the damn government. What's your message to them right now?
Well, they're the ones that started it. They're the ones that have it. And it's almost like a kamikaze attack by them. You want to know the truth? This is like a kamikaze attack. They almost, they have nothing to lose. They've lost the elections. They've lost the presidential election in a landslide. I saw the other day where Kamala said this was a very close election. This was one of the biggest sweeps that anybody's ever had. Won the popular vote by millions, won the electoral college by a massive amount. They said, if I got 270, that would be great. But I got, I think, 312 or 315, and they got 220. So, we won that. But we won counties. The big thing is counties. So out of all of the counties, thousands and thousands, we got 2,500. They got 525. There was a landslide. And we listened, oh, yes, it was close. It was one of the greatest victories ever. And it was a mandate to do what we're doing. And I hope, and Mark wants this as much as I do, we are very close to making a deal on the Middle East that will bring peace to the Middle East. After all of these years of millions and millions, tens of millions of people being killed, there's a chance to bring peace to the Middle East. In addition to that, I made 7 other deals, and they're, great. and we're, things are happening with respect to Russia, Ukraine. That's one that last week, Mark, 7,812 people were killed. Soldiers, mostly soldiers. But 7,000, more than 7,000, almost 8,000 soldiers were killed. It's a crazy thing. I thought that would have been one of the easy ones. I get along very well with Putin, and I thought that would have been, I'm very disappointed in him, because I thought this would have been an easy one to settle, but it's turned out to be maybe tougher than the Middle East. We'll see what happens with the Middle East.
Is the fentanyl crisis over with Canada, with the Canadian border?
Is what?
The fentanyl crisis.
No, it's not over. It's never. I think it's never going to be over, frankly. But they've done. Canada's worked hard, and they've done a much better job than in the past. We have very few people coming in through our southern border too. We've worked with Canada and we've worked with Mexico, so we've made it a lot better.
On fentanyl, any amount is too much. So we've gotten it down. It's down substantially. It's less than 1%, but it's still too much. It's too much at home in Canada.
A lot of people.
Yeah, we got to stop it.
On USMCA, are the two of you both committed to seeing it through in the renegotiation of that deal that you made?
Well, we could renegotiate it, and that would be good, or we could just do different deals. We're allowed to do different deals if we want. We might make deals that are better for the individual
What's your preference?
countries. I don't care. I want to make whatever the best deal is for this country, and also very much with Canada in mind. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, on China, what more can the United States and Canada do together to counter China?
Well, you have to be able to compete. They're a great competitor, and Mark and I both know that, and you have to be able to compete. We have big advantages over China for lots of different reasons, and I think we're doing very well with China. I get along very well with President Xi. I'm going to be meeting him in a few weeks, as you know. I'll be meeting him in South Korea. But we've had a very good relationship for a long time. But you have to be able to compete. To do well with China, if you can't compete, you're not going to do well with China. And Canada is very competitive. I can tell you that. Canada is a very competitive country. I think Canada's done very well over the years with China.
Yeah, we have. But we'll do better together on that.
Mr. President, on the Middle East, what guarantees are you giving your Arab partners that Israel will not resume its offensive after the hostages are released?
Well, the primary guarantee is once this deal happens, if it does happen, look, they're in negotiations right now, we are going to do everything possible. We have a lot of power, and we're going to do everything possible to make sure everybody adheres to the deal. Okay?
Are you concerned about the delays at airports, and how do you see the shutdown ending?
Oh, sure. I mean, it's they're all Democrat delays. There are delays at the airport. That's standard. And again, this is something that every day we put forth a bill. It's just a continuation. It's a very simple thing to sign and very simple to do. And I really think that these are people that I think they have nothing to lose. They have a party that's out of control. They have no leader. Nobody knows who the leader is. I look at people with very low IQs like Crockett, this woman Crockett. I never met her, but she's a low IQ individual. I look at AOC talking about how if they want to negotiate, they can come to my office. She's not in that position to do that. And who the hell is she to say that? And then I watch Nancy Pelosi not knowing what to do. I watch their leadership. Look, Schumer is petrified of primary because he's not going to win probably against anybody in a primary. You know, Schumer did the right thing, but he handled it badly originally a year ago. He did probably the right thing, but he handled it badly. I think Schumer's incapable of making a deal. They are a mess. They're a party that has no leadership. They have, and they have no policy. You know, I think we have great leadership, but we also have great policy. We have strong borders. We have no men and women's sports. Basic things. We're not going to take your child away and change the sex of your child. We're not going to do things like that. What they're doing to the country is so incredible. And they got away with it with all their woke crap, and now it's stopped. and we have a country that's based on common sense and strength and intelligence. I mean, we have the United States of America, and I say it all the time. Other leaders have told me this. Mark hasn't yet, but I think he would. A year ago, we were a dead country, and now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. Maybe Canada. I'll give Canada, but because I do like Canada. But we're the hottest country in the world right now. There's never been a country that has the kind of money coming into. There's never been anything like this. There's never been a country that if you take $1 trillion, that would be unbelievable. We're going to have over $20 trillion invested in this country. There's never been anything like what you're seeing, and it's based on good policy and common sense and leadership. Yeah.
Mr. President, what is Canada giving you in return? If you say Mr. Carney is going to be leaving Washington happy, what's Canada giving you in return?
Well, you'll find out, but I think the people of Canada, they will love us again. Most of them still do. But if you say only 25%, I assume a lot of them, I think they love us. And you know what? I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but I like it a lot. And I watched some of the greatest hockey games I've ever. How good were those games, right?
Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming down for the World Series, Mr. President.
Okay. By the way, your team is looking
Mr. President, will you sign a trade deal with Canada that doesn't include supply managed goods like dairy, for example? If the federal government said that's off the table.
Well, if it would include dairy, I mean, it's going to include everything. We'll do a couple.
Have you identified programs to eliminate under this shutdown?
Oh, sure.
Which ones?
We have a lot. I'm not going to tell you, but we'll be announcing it pretty soon. But we have a lot of things that we're going to eliminate and permanently eliminate. One of the things that we have is some advantage, you could say, but because of the shutdown, which I think they made a big mistake, we're able to take out billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse, and they've handed it, on a silver platter. And Russell Vogt, he's a serious person, very serious person, and he's sitting there and he's getting ready to cut things. And this is something that was handed to us by, I assume, Schumer. I just don't know if Schumer has any power anymore. I look at your leadership. I don't know who to speak to. I'll tell you what, I'm getting calls from Democrats wanting to meet. I never even heard their names before, and they're claiming to be leaders. The Democrats have no leader. They remind me of Somalia, okay? And I met the president of Somalia. I told him about the problem this guy. I said, you have somebody from Somalia who's telling us how to run our country. From Somalia. He said, would you like to take her back? He said, no, I don't want her. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
How many permanent jobs are you talking about to eliminate?
Well, I can tell you, I'll be able to tell you that in 4 or 5 days if this keeps going on. If this keeps going on, it'll be substantial. And a lot of those jobs will never come back. But you're going to have a lot closer to a balanced budget, actually.
Is there anything the Prime Minister has done that's making it more difficult to reach a deal?
Say it?
Is there anything that the Prime Minister has done that's making it more difficult or easier to reach a deal?
No, I think he's a great Prime Minister. I mean, he could represent me anytime. I will tell you, I'm not saying that because no, he is a very strong, very good leader. He's a nice man, but he can be nasty. He can be very nasty. Maybe as nasty as anybody.
How?
I think Canada, let me put it this way, I can tell you this because I deal with lots of leaders all over the world. He is a world-class leader. He's a man that knows what he wants, and I'm not surprised to see that he won the election and won it substantially, and I would think he's more popular now. He's a good man. He does a great job, and he's a tough negotiator.
So then what's holding things up? If he's a great man and you want to do a deal with Canada, why aren't you?
Because I want to be a great man, too.
I mean, how ridiculous of a statement was that from that douchebag?
Yeah, but right off the top of his head, he crams it right back down.
Oh, I know, but geez, these press prostitutes are
They're
freaking
prostitutes.
out of hand.
They're absolutely prostitutes.
You need real people in there, Mr. Trump.
Oh my goodness.
All right, back to the.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Get the hell out of here. I had enough of you.
Get the hell out of here.
He's got the prime minister in stitches. The guy's like falling out of his chair because he's laughing at Donald Trump's antics.
Wow.
That's how you soften a target. That's how you get a good deal. That's how you put a guy in the seat and make him think, damn, I am not going to be able to take advantage of this guy. I'm going to have to be very stern and very direct and very serious whenever I negotiate.
Look at that, Shady. Look at.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
It's such a perfect example for all of you to see. One of the reasons that we show you Donald Trump is because we want you to see what it is that your country is doing. Donald Trump represents your country. So effectively, the only person that's actually doing something productive for your country is the president of the United States. Sometimes the governor does something productive, but very seldom anymore does a governor actually do something productive for you. Donald Trump has been changing the conversation every single day to the point where he has grinded them down into a nubbin. They have nothing left. They're like sitting there coming up with the dumbest questions that they can come up. They're advocating for
so
illegal
anti-American. Yeah.
They're completely 100. Like, when was the last time they advocated for something that you cared about? I think we can bring it just back to that. When do you hear the media say something that you actually thought at some point? It never happens.
$1,000 hammers?
I mean,
toilet seats? Remember that way back in the day?
They used to actually do something. I mean, it's remarkable that we get to see him.
Yeah. Mikey Mariano says no 17, but it's worth 10. Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate you. Boy, you are really getting. Boy, we're really getting whopped over there on X, aren't we? Wow. That's enough. I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But Shady, real quick before we go, because I was on this. This is the follow the husbands, Shady. We were talking about that. We were talking about following the husbands, and I wanted to just, something that kind of freaked me out a little bit, Shady. I was talking to somebody this morning, and I'm like, oh, I wonder who Candace Owens' husband is, Shady.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, I was smacked in the face. CEO of Parler. So George Thomas Stahel Farmer was born on 15 December 1989. He's a British-American entrepreneur and businessman, and he is a former chairman of Turning Point UK and the former CEO of Parler and Parliament Technologies. Okay, he is the son of Michael Farmer, Baron Farmer, as well as the husband of American political commentator, I hate the Jews, Candace Owens. Okay, so see the Parler thread below for more information on the involvement of Parler and the January 6th impeachment of Donald Trump. There he is right there. Oh, I'm married to Candace Owens. Look at that guy, Shitty. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is back in the day. All right, so this is the Parler thread. Ron says Parler is compromised. Don't use it. Dan Bongino was a shareholder, and he says, oh, of course, with simple logic, I don't know who Ron is, but I know the details about Parler. You are not an IT expert like Ron is, okay? Ron knows his stuff about websites, all right? I'm going to vouch for Ron on that one, Shady.
Yeah, we're going to have to, too.
Ron does not know anything about the internals of Parler. He didn't have to. He ethical hacked you. Do you understand?
In other words, it was wide open.
Yeah. Ron hasn't put his money or reputation on the line for Parler. I have. Parler is committed to the data security and to free exchange. Now, Dan, I understand your position there. As an investor, I would be pretty mad too, but we told you. Okay, Ron told you so, because what Parler saw during the attack on the Capitol, they have it all blocked out. This is all the videos stolen by ProPublica, okay, who is a Sussman. Donald Sussman, okay, was on the chairman. In that, once we exposed this, they took Sussman off the website for ProPublica, okay, and it's a 501c. So they have it all around D.C., near Capitol Inside. They have it all timeline and archived, and collection of more than 500 videos that ProPublica determined were taken during the events of January 6th. Okay, it was given to them, guys. Here is this is during the impeachment of Donald J. Trump, and this is where I'm like, oh my God, they screwed up. They told me where they got their videos. Parler Capitol videos. Okay, projects.propublica.org, Parler, Capital Videos. This is the CEO of Parler is Candace Owens' husband. Okay, Congresswoman backtracks on keeping Epstein donations. Okay, that was the USVI, Stacey Plaskett, who was giving this speech. Plaskett was giving this. She was one of the impeachment managers. All right, so Donald Sussman was on the board of trustees for ProPublica. There he is there. He was, along with Paul Sagan, chairman of ProPublica, along with Moderna and VMware. January 5, Sussman donates an island to the USVI Trust. Mingo K donated. 50-acre island donated. That's how
that day.
January 6th was the story. Yeah. And this is the projects.propublica.org. Okay. Is this how they financed all this? Selwyn, Donald Sussman is an American financier philanthropist. He, Paloma, okay, which is a new China Capital Management, Inc. Okay. Carnegie Hall. So with the logic of like, say, you've got to connect it here, right? You've got to connect it here. This is the absurdly basic bug. Gets anyone grab all of Parler's data. Okay. It's all out there. And I'm telling you right now that CEO is this guy, married to Candace Owens, who Charlie Kirk actually said she has a demon.
Right before he was murdered.
Yeah.
So isn't it interesting that he would go out in public and say that Candace Owens has a demon or a demonic spirit, and then all of a sudden he would get murdered, and she would be the one to try to cash in on his murder and try to blame it on Israel, try to blame it on Bibi Netanyahu, try to blame it on the Jewish people, like every Jewish person, I guess, on the planet was involved in it, like they were all conspiring to get rid of Charlie Kirk together. I want you to see the absurdity in this, and I want you to see clearly what Jeff just showed you, because it dovetails perfectly into what we've been saying here about what ProPublica is. What Ron was doing, Code Monkey was trying to explain, hey, there's a breach in your system. Okay. What if it wasn't a breach in the system? What if it was an open door, right? Yeah. It was the door left open, the door being left open by the people who architected the platform. I don't necessarily think Dan Bongino understood that at that point. Now that I see more things that have unfolded about who was behind Parler, but right here you can clearly see the Tavistock operational people of the British intelligence, MI6, co-functioning, sending out, liquefying reality through Candace Owens 24/7 since Charlie Kirk was dead, or Charlie Kirk was murdered. Now you're looking right here at the open door to give them everything that they needed. That was real time, by the way. What Jeff was showing you there with all of the videos that came, those were basically published in public on that ProPublica website within like 2 or 3 days of the event at J6. They had every single video that anyone uploaded to Parler during that time. They had the location where the video was uploaded at, like where the person was standing when they uploaded the video. Everything. And they had every single person's video in order of the time that the video was uploaded in the organization within, like, how do you, the infrastructure that it took to do that and put that on the web is insane for you to be able to search it. Remember, Jeff, you could, like, if he were to go to the site, you can, like, go to the Capitol. These were the videos that were put from the Capitol. These were the videos outside the Capitol. These were the videos in the street.
So I wanted to slow down real quick because I made a statement too that is yes. So Candace Owens' husband was Parler, Shady, and that was part of Donald Trump's impeachment. Okay, the data from Parler that Code Monkey warned him about.
Correct.
Okay. So then you've got Charlie Kirk, just less than a month, okay, before someone directly asked Charlie Kirk about Candace Owens, and he referred to her publicly as being possessed by demons.
Mm-hmm. He literally said that.
This is from Ambassador Huckabee. The influence of Charlie Kirk lives beyond his too brief of a life. This response to irrational anti-Semitism is as brilliant as I've ever heard. Wisdom far beyond his years. Thank God there are hours of his content that are a testament to his genius. Let's listen.
Thank you for coming, Charlie. And I had a quick question about anti-Semitism online. Another question here they asked about Candace Owens, and I'm a big fan of you. I was a big fan of her, but she's obviously been going down this anti-Semitic bent. And through her, I'm kind of finding out about these other characters online, like Nick, for instance. I'm sure you've heard of him. And these people, they've been active for a long time, and it seems like they've just been ignored, which is working. But now they're kind of surging in popularity. And as someone who, I enjoy watching your debates, are they people you'd be willing to engage with and maybe shut them down in a way through a debate or something like that?
Well, I mean, I'm going to debate Candace. But no, look, I'll debate anybody that shows up at our campus events first and foremost. But I do want to take what you say and extrapolate that there is a corner of the internet of people that want to point and blame the Jews for all their problems. Everybody, this is demonic and it's from the pit of hell. And it should not be tolerated. Period. But it goes to a structural problem of an entire generation that has economic resentment. They don't own anything. They're not getting married. They're not having children. They're depressed. They're anxious. They're staring at their screens all day long. And if all of a sudden your extrapolation of all that is, well, it's the Jews' fault, that is sloppy and shallow thinking. And not only that, they say, oh, it's the Jews' fault. Okay, let's kind of play this out. Well, tuberculosis, that used to kill about 1 billion people. You know, it's a group of Jewish scientists that came up with the antibiotic that cured tuberculosis. How about CPR, the MRI machine? You know, there's over 500 million lives that were saved over the last 50 years because of people that were Jewish scientists that were working on things. They'll never say thank you to the Jews, but they'll always say shame on the Jews. It's weird how that works. And finally, they always blame the Jews for stuff. Jewish people are an ethnicity. So therefore, definitionally, you have people that are secular, orthodox, religious, that are all over the spectrum. You're trying to blame an entire ethnicity for a singular problem. Hold on, let's take a step back here. Instead of that, what could you possibly do in your own personal life to improve your own state of being? If you are blaming 0.02% of the world's population for all of your problems, that is not going to be good for your soul. It's not good for your psychology. It's not good for your future in any way, shape, or form. And so I would just say this, that any young person that goes into this hyper online brain rot, you are serving yourself over to your own demise. You are serving yourself into a suicide mission that will not make you happier and not make you healthier. Instead, here's what your attitude should be. Your attitude should be like, I can't own stuff. I got it. Can't own a home. I'm not getting married. I don't know who to date. I said, wow, the challenges are immense. I'm going to now overcome all those challenges and go on an adventure. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm now not going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victor. I'm going to dig deep. This is still a great country. This is a free country. I'm going to use my agency. I'm going to use my ability. And I'm not just going to go point in the corner and be like, I'm overweight because of the Jews. Women don't want to date me because of the Jews. How about this? As Jordan Peterson would say, sit up straight with your shoulders back, follow the rules for life, make yourself interesting, learn something new every single day, and instead of pointing at a small group of people and engaging in this brain rot, become a better person. You'll be a happier and healthier, more joyful and productive person.
That's why they killed him.
That's why they killed him. Then you've got all these demonic forces saying it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. People that I said, it's not the Jews. And then they doubled down. It was private. They doubled down. Now it's public. And he's talking like a demon.
Yep. They all go there, don't they?
Yeah.
This is the hill they die on.
Mm-hmm. Brain rot.
Yep.
We'll be right back after these beautiful messages.
See you, man. Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at @RealMG Show or $RealMG Show. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queens $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
To mypillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
Media, they are fake. Democrats, they can hardly wait to join all those protests creating turmoil. Well, it's a left-wing thing. Don't forget your nose ring when you're blocking traffic because you hate oil. Yeah, that's just the way it is in Delusionalville. And we should take them with a bucket of salt. Some and they claim that there ain't woman today. I say no. They've XY chromosomes. Pink hairs are in season. Yeah, they promote treason. Well, that's how it is when you've nothing to do. The left wing is brooding while MAGA saluting the commander-in-chief of the red, white, and blue. Yeah, that's just the way it is in Delusionalville. And we should take them with a bucket of salt. Some and they claim that there ain't one more today. Hey, I say no. They've XY chromosomes.
Transgender boys who might not have their own money to go buy tampons, if they're provided free in the bathroom, it's a huge plus.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now you can call yourself
Cis men
whatever you
don't
want.
menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body
if you are,
menstruated at
if
some
your
point.
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct.
La migra, they won't stop parading Home Depot lots. Such a thrill watching you get sent home. And always remember, there's only two genders. Girls come with tits and the boys come with bones. Yeah, that's just the way it is in Delusionalville. And we should take them with a bucket of salt. Some and they claim that there ain't one more today. Hey, I say no. They've XY chromosomes. Yes, and some and they claim that there ain't one more today. Hey, I say no. They've XY chromosomes.
Oh, yes. Just a friendly reminder.
We believe in science.
Wow. Wow.
The MG show. We believe in science.
Wow. And you know what? If you're 18 and you're an adult and you want to change your body because, you don't think you're in the image of God and you want to be the image of someone else, something else,
go ahead.
Go for it. It's a free country. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to pay for it, though.
Nope, I'm not paying.
All right. Do it. Do it. Wow. Delusionalville. And that's what it is. And, keeping the government closed is Delusionalville. Also, I want to go over now, Shady Groove, because we were talking this morning and you see, General Flynn saying, we're not going to let the Epstein stuff go away. We're not going to. Guess who else isn't going to let the Epstein stuff go away, Shady? What the hell is going on? Why do they sound like Democrats, these shills?
Because they're Democrats. That's why. There's no other reason.
1 + 1 =
2.
Right.
That's right. They were Democrats before they pretended to be MAGA. And now instead of MAGA, they're trying to say that, oh, no, well, Donald Trump, because of Epstein and Israel and their association with killing Charlie Kirk, that there's something wrong with Donald Trump and MAGA. We're America first. We're not really going to support Donald Trump any longer. They're not even a year in. And we told you that they were going to do this. We told you that this was what the people, these devolution people are the ones doing it. These Flynn people are the ones doing it. The people that came acting like that they were assisting Q and Donald Trump are the ones doing it. Now they are relying on Alex Jones and General Flynn for their network and not Donald Trump. They are fighting Donald Trump and pretending like they're just asking questions.
Derp. So the demons are doing the anti-Israel, and Alexis Wilkins is a Mossad agent because she had somebody that she worked for that was that worked. That means she is. 1 + 1 = 8, right? Rules, accept it. That's why they're saying that all this Epstein stuff on Trump. You guys, you're seeing the operation, Shady.
I will give them a compliment. They have the cleanest windows on earth
because they lick them.
Yep.
All right. Check this out. This is the fake MAGA sounding exactly like Dick Durbin, okay? Fake MAGA is sounding exactly like Dick Durbin, Shady.
Prove us wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Not answered.
February, you made a public claim that the Epstein client list was, quote, sitting on my desk right now for review, end of quote. You then produced already public information and no client list at a major media event hosted at the White House. Attorney General Bondi, why did you publicly claim to have the Epstein client list waiting for your review and then produce nothing relevant to that claim?
Senator Durbin, if you listen to my entire clip on that, I said I had not reviewed it yet, that it was sitting on my desk along with the JFK files, the Martin Luther King files. And I said I had not yet reviewed it. And if you see our memo on Epstein, you will see, excuse me, our memo on Epstein clearly points out that there was no client list, our July 6th memo. You also didn't let me respond to the HIDA question. The budget transfers $196 million for high-intensity drug trafficking areas to the Office of Justice Programs, OJP. The Justice Department will continue to administer those grants under OJP in 2026.
Going back to the Epstein files, according to another whistleblower who made a protected disclosure to my office, you pushed the FBI to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records on an arbitrarily short deadline in March, and the FBI was directed to flag any documents that mentioned President Trump. Nothing came of that review until July when DOJ and FBI released an unsigned memo stating, quote, there's no incriminating client list. Why was the July 7th memo unsigned?
The July 7th memo came from the FBI and the Department of Justice. Director Patel answered those questions very clear. And, you know, Senator Durbin, I find it very interesting that you refused repeated Republican requests to release the Epstein flight logs in 2023 and 2024. You fought that. Did you take money from Reid Hoffman, campaign donations, who was a huge Epstein friend? Why did you fight for years? Why did you fight to not disclose the flight logs, Senator Durbin?
I can tell you I did not refuse. One of the senators here wished to produce those logs, and I asked her to put it in writing, and she never did.
Yeah, I think Senator Blackburn would quarrel with you on that.
Well, I will quarrel with you as to Reid, somebody that you mentioned I never heard of.
Reid Hoffman.
So who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this, and you won't do it.
Interesting how he sounds like the Flynn Network with his original question, isn't it?
Boy, oh boy, it is interesting. And it's interesting the way that she's responding to him. It's almost like she's not responding to him specifically because of an open investigation.
So she mentioned that Senator Blackburn will quarrel with her, with Tricky Dick Durbin. Let's watch.
To answer for your conduct in this, and you won't do it today, but eventually you will. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
I got
Mr. Chairman,
something here.
Mr. Chairman,
Pam.
Mr. Chairman, since Senator Durbin referred to me, I would really appreciate the opportunity to correct the record.
Proceed.
Because Senator Durbin knows I repeatedly asked for those flight logs. I brought up the subpoena. You even shut down the committee because you didn't want that, and you know I submitted that in writing, and you continue to misrepresent that, and I am not going to let that record stand.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Senator Durbin.
I just want to make it clear that the reason the committee business ended was that your side invoked the 2-hour rule. Point number 2 is I asked you if you wanted any documents like flight logs to put it in writing. You never did.
Yes, sir, I did. And your staff knows that I did.
No,
We'll submit, once again,
send me a copy
the information to you. We've done that several times, but we'll be happy to, once again, send it to you. I think your staff doesn't show that to you.
Well, as I started to say about the emolument clause.
Wow, interesting. It's really interesting because what we've been hearing is this narrative about a Jeffrey Epstein client list. This narrative goes back to before Q or even anything. It goes back like into the dumb Pizzagate stuff that was released. So it's very interesting how that is a Pizzagate conspiracy theory narrative cooperating with the Epstein list that really, I mean, Q never talked about an Epstein list outside of the client list or the black book. Okay, the client list and I meant the flight logs. The flight logs and the black book is what I meant to say. I'm so sorry about that. That was an error. I meant to say that Q didn't talk about anything but the flight logs and the black book, the associated, the Rolodex, if you will. That was all redacted whenever we first started talking about Epstein. That information is now 100% unredacted. All of the flight logs and all of the black book context that was blacked out whenever we first started talking about Q is now open. None of them look at that as that's relevant information. They want something that doesn't exist, like the Jeffrey Epstein client list. And from what we can tell, it looks like the trafficking was going from Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein personally. And the stuff that was going on with, like, you know, all of the other people had to do with other types of corruption other than what you have been taught.
Yeah. And, you know, there is no list. You know, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for having sexual relations with people under the age of 18. Okay.
Correct.
And he was arrested and there were victims. Okay. There were victims that were paid $540 million. Then there's the theory that they used fake victims,
which is a really, really compelling quote unquote theory because it really looks like money laundering.
According to somebody that was up against Epstein, there's a lawyer, and we went over this on another show, that they used a J.G. Wentworth kind of scam. They had fake victims. Those fake victims won $20 million. Then they got investors to say, hey, we'll offer you $5 million to keep your $20 million.
Yep.
Okay? People need to realize that there's more to the story. In fact, there is a Q post that says Ponzi scheme. Have you read it? Do you know who it refers to? Do you know whose husband that is?
Chelsea.
Whose grandfather ran a Ponzi scheme just like this one?
It would almost dovetail perfectly with the way that they set it all up during the first Clinton administration and all of the hubbub that was going on and the back room, the talk that was out there in public and all these different people that were talking up front and all of this quote unquote lore about Jeffrey Epstein, when in all reality, it was Ghislaine Maxwell that was the connection back to the family.
That's right. Hey, Shady, I want to do this one real quick because we got one. Hey, guys. Wow. I'm telling you right now. Hey, football fanatics, are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune in to Westwood One for all the gridiron glory that you crave. Follow jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays. Don't miss a single moment of this excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
And I would like to thank you very much for that. I'd like to jump in. Is Rachel Chandler part of that revealed coming soon? So I think, this is my opinion, I think that Rachel Chandler is independent of it. Okay, so I think that everybody just sort of assumed that the Rachel Chandler stuff came in and was a part of the Epstein stuff because of a few pictures that were out there. But I think that it's bigger than that. I think the Rachel Chandler thing is a whole nother segment of the conversation that we're not talking of, future proofs past reality, that could reveal some of the things that a lot of people were thinking was connected to Epstein, may have actually been connected to some of these more Hollywood elite people, the tighter circles that were, like the Diddy circles and the things like that were going on in Hollywood, right, that were, I think she said Allison Mack or Rachel Chandler's Allison Mack times 1,000. So that's where we kind of like made those associations, and we have to be really clear. I think what Q has taught us throughout this process is that, everything, the picture becomes clearer and clearer. It's our job to refine the picture, not to make it more fuzzy. And these people that are out there doing these operations for Alex Jones and General Flynn, their job is to make everything fuzzy so that you can't come to any conclusion, so that you can't orient yourself, and so that you end every single day more confused than you were the day before.
Yeah, or believing stuff that really isn't true.
Same thing. Yes, sir.
Just like, I see Mike Zulanos asking about Pizzagate. Do you know who actually got fired for Pizzagate from the first Trump administration?
Yes, I do.
I do. Do you know? I mean, you should know.
And why he was fired was directly linked to Pizzagate. And now that we've, kind of looked back on it, if we
Mike Flynn Jr., correct.
Mike Flynn Jr., I was going to say, yeah. And if we look back on it, what we can see is this correlation. Again, let's go take a look at that post where Q said, best documentary ever over the Liz Crokin documentary that mentioned Pizzagate. That post actually includes a reference to foreign sites and the MK Ultra program. You see? So there's indications around all of these different things. Pizzagate was a complete military psychological operation to detract you from what they're really doing, which is arms deals. Okay, that's what the deep state really are into. That's where they make their real money, is off of illegal arms dealings for foreign countries by these nefarious military actors. That's what they're really trying to cover up for, and they're really trying to make you think it's about, sending. These people are so powerful that they have to use emails, and they have to send code words embedded in the emails where they're talking about their lunch, but that's somehow talking about child sex trafficking. They don't have the ability, considering they control every single aspect of government, to just communicate with each other.
So we're asked, can you explain Flynn Jr. being fired? Pizzagate. He was fired for Pizzagate.
That's why he was fired.
Because it's fake.
Because he was posting about it.
It's a Flynn psychological operation, one of his first ones. How many Flynn psychological operations have we seen since?
Thousands.
Wow.
And actually they can all be tied to Pizzagate because they all have the same moniker.
Yep.
It's the same type of information, just like all this stuff with Charlie or with Candace Owens right now. All it is questions. All it is they're just making stuff up. So they're saying to you, they never answer, they never provide you proof that the existing information is fake. Okay, there's existing information about the person that shot Charlie, and there's existing information about the text messages between Tyler and the Twigs guy. What they're trying to do is they're trying to say that there's some sort of discrepancies with that information. There is no discrepancy with that information. There was one shot heard. There was one empty casing in the gun. The guy jumped off the roof after he shot from the position, and the text messages between two weirdo transgenders that are into dressing up like furry animals isn't that unusual.
Yeah. Flynn Jr. and Flynn, yes and yes. Also somebody's asking the question, but there's a child the Biden administration, 350 some odd thousand kids went missing, okay? That's child sex trafficking, and we can prove it, and we actually are getting some of them back. Another thing that you guys are saying is, how can you say there's no Pizzagate when Liz Crokin was assigned to control the narrative? That's a funny comment, because Liz Crokin is on the board of America's Future. It's called Little Flowers. Do you know what flowers are? Think flowers. Do you remember the Q post with flowers? Did you follow Q? Do you guys understand that you guys have been misled about Q from infiltrated Anons?
That's the reason our job is so hard.
Yeah.
And we participated in it. We participated in it up until we realized that Donald Trump was sending us a signal that General Flynn was corrupt and that Roger Stone had nothing to do with him. We picked up on those signals, and ever since we did, we've been 100% over almost every single target we've hovered over.
Yes, Laura Logan's on the board. She's also blocked me. Who else? You want to keep going?
Tzu.
We got them all. Sun Tzu? Yeah. All right, so flowers and gardens. Learn the hidden symbolism. What does a flower represent? What does deflower represent? What is Little Flowers Advisory Board? Little Flowers Advisory.
A corrupt 501c3 that launders money.
Oh, here it is. Here's your Little Flowers Advisory Board. Silva Almond. Oh, that's a satanic kind of name, isn't it? Basil Raz. I'm sure that's normal. Basil Baz, right? Oh, and Tina Baz. Oh, and Jacob Buyens. Oh, and Liz Crokin. And Brian, I look like Hitler Gamble. Oh, and Alicia Kutzer. Oh, Lara Logan. Oh, Ben Moore. Sun Tzu Q. Oh, William Bill Olson. Liz Piper Loomis. Wow. Oh, and Tara Lee Rodas. Interesting, isn't it?
Interesting that there's never anything done for children other than launder money and pretend like you're helping them. There's no law services being provided for anybody that was trafficked. They have no ability to communicate with anyone that's recovering from being trafficked. They have no association with any network. The only thing that they've done is that they've directed victims to the Polaris Hillary Clinton trafficking number through the Ballard release and all of the dumb stuff that General Flynn has been putting out. On his website, the number that you call for trafficking leads to the Polaris number that Q said was the Clinton Foundation that Jeffrey Epstein helped the Clintons set up.
Yep. along with Pito Esta. Storm Rider, I'm going to read your comment. Funny how they keep mentioning Epstein, but never the 300,000 plus children that are missing and exploiting. Wonder why?
Because that's the real trafficking.
That's the real trafficking.
And they're distracting you from it. Yeah. And we've already found 20,000. Kash Patel said we found 20,000 of that 300,000, but not a single media story about it. But that day there were hundreds about Epstein. And Dick Durbin and all these people keep doing this nonsense. They're doing there's no difference between what Dick Durbin is doing and what Candace Owens is doing. There's no difference between what Dick Durbin is doing and what Tucker Carlson is doing. There's no difference between what Dick Durbin is doing and this goofy MJ Truth and SCIF on Twitter are doing.
And Script Keeper.
And Script Keeper is doing the exact same thing. They cannot resist the clickbait. They've got to have it. It's like an addiction. They do not understand that the way is the truth, guys. Listen, the way is the truth. We could lie to you all we wanted to and create all this clickbait and generate a lot of content for you if we wanted to do this. We could, but the way is the truth. If we lie to you, if we're deceptive to you, then that is going to interfere with our own spiritual journeys. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to lie to you because I am here to try to discern the truth for myself, and I'm sharing with you what I'm coming up with, and so is Jeff. That's literally
and you're
all
sharing with us too. I mean, this is a group dig, essentially.
And we wouldn't be here without all of the people, all of the people that are out here, without Poussant, without Rocket, without Yeti, without all of you guys, C Page, without Mikey, Political Cartoon, every Design Pro, all of the contributions, Monster, that you guys have made. You have contributed to our perspective. We have been in the wrong place. And then somebody say, look at this. You're like, oh, crap. Yes, I see what you're saying. That is iron sharpening iron. What these guys are doing is they are literally just like throwing the iron in the water and letting it rust and continuing to walk down the beach.
Storm Rider gifted 10 subscriptions, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
We're passionate about this for a reason.
G Brothers, 1 subscription as well. Mikey Mariano said, Jeff Fire, thank you. And I think I got this one. Don't look at that. Don't look at this. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me, says Rev Rob. I mean, that's how they're acting. If I question their narrative, I get attacked. I mean, look at what this little failed rapper guy is saying all about me. It's crazy. So stupid. Why?
Because
he's a demon.
Because you didn't know, because the clickbait was challenged. It's the same. It's no different than when we challenged the clickbait of Flynn. It's no different than when we challenged the clickbait of Alex Jones. Every single time that we challenge their clickbait, they cannot defend their clickbait with words. Use your words like an adult. No, they can't do that. They've got to start to twist things and act like you're a problem because you're not going along with their narrative. And they're just asking questions.
Right.
Like we haven't already asked the questions and
when
realized
they can't attack the information provided, they attack the messenger. Define deflection, logical thinking, shill count high.
And what we showed you with the connection to ProPublica in the first hour is rock solid to understand what the operation is against you. And just like I said to the one guy yesterday, they don't have a single mind. The people that we were just mentioning do not have a single mind paying attention to their content outside of Twitter. Not one. We are reaching thousands of people on our podcast download every day. We're reaching thousands of people outside of the Matrix on Red State Talk Radio. We're reaching all types of people that are not on Twitter because their minds aren't plugged into this mess. And the reality is we're getting a tremendous amount of amazing feedback. And by the way, God bless Debbie out there. Thank you so much. For thinking that this broadcast is that important to you to support us like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Because it means everything to us to know that we are speaking for you. That's what our intent is. If you feel like that we are not speaking for you, then come at us. Come at us over Pizzagate. Come at Shady over Pizzagate. I'll help you correct yourself as far as I can, to the point where if you want to believe in it, you're more than welcome to continue to go believe in it. But I can prove it wrong. And once I can prove it wrong, then I'm no longer a slave to that system of thought.
Yep. D-Mile U.S. Navy, USN, I believe. Thank you very much. We shall prevail. $10 Rumble Ramp. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wow, guys. Wow.
On Tuesday.
Oh, and we got to make sure to thank you for reminding me, Storm Rider. Remember, don't be a Flynn. Vote today. It is my great honor to endorse America First Patriot Matt Von Epps. This is Vote Today, guys, who's running to represent the great people of Tennessee's 7th Congressional District. He's a West Point graduate. a combat decorated Army helicopter pilot. Matt knows the wisdom and courage required to defend our country, support our incredible military veterans, and ensure peace through strength. In Congress, Matt will work hard to keep our now very secure border secure, stop migrant crime, grow our economy, cut taxes, promote Made in the USA, champion school choice, unleash American energy, dominance, and defend our always under siege Second Amendment. He is strongly supported by my good friend, Congressman Jim Jordan, and many other highly respected MAGA warriors. Now, let's just pause and find out. So, the MAGA warriors, and I'm using air quotes, that don't respect this are right now, we've got, what's that? John Rich and General Flynn, okay, are going against this America First patriot, Matt Van Epps, that Donald Trump endorsed. You have Rich and Flynn, who are not obviously highly respected MAGA warriors. Am I right in reading that correctly?
You're reading that correctly.
Huh.
They're shills.
Yep. Matt Van Epps has my complete and total endorsement to the next congressman of the Tennessee 7th Congressional District. He will never let you down. Vote, Tennessee. Get out there. If you're in Tennessee 7, get out there, vote Van Epps.
Is that today?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, 8:52 a.m.
That's what I thought. No, the election is today.
Yep. Vote today. Vote today.
I was gonna tell them that they needed to vote today.
Vote today, Shady.
Yes, sir. I think that's
vote today.
And the voter frog will be happy.
Oh, the voter frog will be happy. But the Flinians are trying to dilute the vote so Matt Van Epps doesn't get in. Do you understand what they're doing here, guys? It's dangerous.
It is dangerous, and the reality is that they've yet to win one, but they might. You know, the reality is that, you try 20 times, you're going to pull one off. So, every single one that they pull off, they know that they can control that candidate. They know that they can get into that district. They know that they could pull a Tina Peters if they needed to.
Wow.
Because that's what they did in that case. They convinced her to do something against her best interest, and she got caught doing it, and then she got prosecuted for doing it, and now they're acting like it's somehow Trump's fault.
That's right. That's right.
Because everything is Trump's fault, by the way. You'll notice. You'll notice that the Ivan Ranklins of the world and the General Flynn's and the Alex Joneses of the world also believe that everything is Trump's fault, just like the Democrats that we've been highlighting here.
Imagine that. Wow. All right, so let's go back to, it's so crazy, guys. So crazy, right? The Democrats are so stupid, Shady. Here we go. Check it out.
You run the Department of Justice, and he testified that the Department of Justice released his transcript publicly.
If it is released publicly, we will get you a copy, Senator, gladly.
If, being a rather important word there, when your FBI director testified that that was a fact. Treasury compiles suspicious activity reports, referred to often as SARs, that DOJ receives automatically. Hundreds related to accounts of Jeffrey Epstein. How many of those Treasury SARs did you or Director Patel investigate?
Senator, I'm not sure if you're concerned because you took money, I believe, did you, from Reid Hoffman, one of Epstein's closest confidants, not only once but twice in 2018 and 2024, if that's correct. But Senator, did you ask Merrick Garland any of this over the last 4 years when he sat before you? This investigation has been going on. This investigation was closed. Did you ask Alex Acosta that?
And Patel came to office, you said you would look into this. There were hundreds of suspicious activity reports. Some people would deduce from the fact that they are called suspicious activity reports that there might be suspicious activity. And yet you seem to have looked at zero.
And by the way, Mr. White House is not only funded by Reid Hoffman, he's also funded by Hans-Jörg Wyss. He's George Soros. He's also funded by Pierre Omidyar. He is funded by the Arabella Advisors group of bullshit.
Network.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, you came close.
So it's amazing. Why aren't they talking about the kids? Because you're talking about Pizzagate looking like a dumbass in front of your friends. Pizzagate, 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 Pizzagate. There's no basement in Comet Ping Pong. It's the real child trafficking is under Joe Biden, guys. 300 and some odd thousand kids were lost.
Do you know that
That's child trafficking?
The guy that discharged his weapon in that pizzeria was an Alex Jones guy, connected directly to Alex Jones. And that guy that did that caused all of that havoc after discharging his weapon in Comet Ping Pong in Washington, D.C., was killed in a police stop 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because dead people don't tell the truth.
Dead men tell no tales. Shady Groove, let's listen to your AG of stuff that you can actually prove, guys. I mean, that's really the whole point. A theory. It's a theory, okay? Pizzagate's a theory. It's a theory until you can prove it, okay? But it's a theory. But let's talk about the truth now, Shady. What do you think?
I like that.
2,000 of these 500,000 children. Could you talk to us a little bit about your efforts to rescue these children that had been abandoned by the Biden administration?
Yes, and Senator, thank you for asking that question. President Trump cares deeply about our children of this country and children from around the world. This is horrific what has been happening in our country. Law enforcement has arrested approximately 458 sponsors. Now, what these sponsors are, they lie to ORR, many of them, to have an unaccompanied alien child. Some of them later exploit and abuse these children. They're not parents, they're not guardians. They're coming into this country, they were coming into this country without any ramification across the Mexican border until Donald Trump became president again, and that's when it stopped. We are doing everything in our power to find and arrest these people who are exploiting these children and find these children throughout our country. One of those cases, we charged a Guatemalan national unlawfully residing in Cleveland with lying to government because he became the sponsor of a young girl. And of course, we found he was later sexually abusing her. That's one of many cases, Senator Cornyn, that I can talk about. And Donald Trump will not rest until all of these sponsors are found and these children are found and protected.
Thank you.
But Pizzagate, but all this other bullshit. Guys, you see where it is? This is the child trafficking ring. Okay? But look here, not there. You know, our minds were melted from these people. All of us. We all fell for it.
Oh yeah.
Shady.
Oh yeah, we did, but we're all digging out of it right now. And you know, we're going to keep marching our way out of this absolute insanity, because the same exact thing that is Pizzagate is Epstein, is Israel killed Charlie Kirk, is Erica Kirk is working with Donald Trump to get rid of Charlie Kirk so that they can, is TPC, TPA, Turning Point USA is geofencing and stealing everybody's information, and now they're going to attack you through your cell phones. Like, that's what's going on out there.
Is Lynn Wood, is General Flynn, is all Alex Jones, is the entire network. We've mapped it out. We've been attacked by every single one of them. Why? Because we challenge them. And then they block us, so we can't say anything. Right, Script?
These people are so stupid that they literally were in a text message chat room 4 years ago calling Kash Patel Trash Patel.
Yeah.
This is the We the Media chat room. We have the proof we can show you. In the We the Media chat, all these people, Kate the Awakening, John Patel, Patel Patriot, Pepe Deluxe, Julian's Rum, all of the, you name them, every single one of them were in there attacking Kash Patel because he said devolution didn't exist, because he said you were liars and you were lying to people and you're using my name to do it, and stop using my name. They started calling him Trash Patel. That person is the person that we helped to absolutely upend every single one of those narratives. And it turns out, lo and behold, who in the hell is the FBI director? Jeff?
Yeah. Cashiap Patel, name to remember.
Patel. Oh, interesting. Interesting that it turns out to be him. Interesting that it turns out that all of these people that are in the Flynn network, like Kyle Seraphin and Devolution, are all of a sudden turning against Donald Trump, isn't it? It's really interesting that they're pretending like what the FBI is telling you isn't the truth. They're pretending like the FBI is lying to you. Meanwhile, the FBI, Kash Patel, is doing his dead level best to be honest and transparent with you, and the transparency isn't what was ever wanted. That's what you're learning right now. The transparency upends their BS. It doesn't undergird it. Therefore, they have an issue with anyone that goes against their narrative.
Yeah. Patel was a Catholic fundraiser, guys. He worked for foundations and institutes for a reason. Stupid. Real quick, Ali Carr, best show ever. Thanks, MG Show. Not a federal employee, but unemployed nonetheless. This donation is worth every cent. Thank you. Look, we were caught up in all this too, guys. We followed Flynn. We followed General Flynn. And 8/8/2023, we went public with our... because of Kellogg, said, read the book. This is really what happened in the Oval Office. Not what Flynn said. And if you read what was it called? Out like Flynn, chapter 8 in War by Other Means, he lied. Flynn lied and got fried. He got fired in 23 days, guys. He's even in the Q post of Scaramucci play, okay? Along with Spicer and all the rest of them, because Chris Christie hired the first administration. You don't see this kind of shit now, do you? Because President Trump has control of his own administration, not to the thanks of Chris Christie, right? In the first one, you can never get rid of Flynn. He'll be like gum on the bottom of your shoe. Well, you know what? I peeled that gum off the bottom of my shoe, and boy, do I feel good about it.
I feel great about it too. And what I feel even better about the point that you made in the middle of what you were saying there, because I feel better about the idea of like, are you noticing that all of the stuff that happened in the first administration isn't happening? You don't see RFK Jr. out there undermining Pam Bondi. You don't see Dr. Oz out there undermining Sean Duffy. You don't see Kristi Noem out there trying to like better herself by taking down Scott Bessent. You don't see any of that going on that was systemic in the first Trump administration. Every single one of them, like little hyenas, nipping at everybody else's heels, acting like it was everybody else's fault. You don't see any of that for a reason, guys. And the reason is because this time he went through and he found central casting. He went through every single position in his administration. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find central casting. I'm going to find the person that perfectly fits this position. And I guarantee if I do that, I'll make almost no mistakes because they'll work together because they have the actual goal in mind of helping the American people, not the goal in mind of like imposing themselves and acting like they're somehow a hero of this story. No one is a hero of this story. General Flynn is not a hero of this story. And the reason that Jeff is making the point that he's making about General Kellogg's book is because at the same time that came out, we realized a Storm Foretold movie showed us that General Flynn and Roger Stone were in cahoots with the J6 riot. That's what it shows. It showed us that the Proud Boys that we could clearly see were connected to InfoWars, that group of people were proud that they stormed the Capitol. I thought it was disgusting. Jeff thought it was disgusting. Nobody wanted any MAGA patriots in there swinging bats at cops for 3 hours. Nobody wanted any MAGA patriots in there knocking over desks and taking information. But that's what they did.
D. Hagen asking a serious question. Are you saying Comet Pizza wasn't nefarious? It seemed really sketchy to me. Let me answer. Do you have any victims so we can have a criminal case? Are there any victims that you can point to? If not, where's your common sense? Seriously, you might think things are nefarious and sketchy, but that's your feeling and your thought. That has zero IQ. We have nothing that we can, like Clinton went to the island 20 some odd times. There's no victim. No victim, no crime. Do you understand, guys?
It's hard for people to get past that. It's hard for people to recognize it. We're not making any claim. We don't have
the victims may be dead. Maybe.
That's right. We don't have
victims may be on frickin' the moon.
We don't have.
That's how stupid this is, guys.
We don't have information that backs up the claims, guys. That's the point of all of this. We have circumstantial things that you could point to, but until you've got a victim, until you've got a person that is willing to stand up and testify, then all you have is circumstantial evidence. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to disassociate the human mind with the circumstantial evidence. We're not saying that there's not evidence there of stuff. What we're saying is there's not proof that these politicians were using these words whenever. If you go read those emails, Pizzagate is about the words in emails. It's not even really about comment ping pong. It's about the words that people were using in emails and trying to claim that these words meant children trafficking. Go read the emails and you can clearly see that that is not what the communication were. And if you were the Podestas and the Obamas and you wanted to traffic children, you wouldn't need to code it in emails, guys. You would just do it. Think logically.
And then Red Pill, and I love you. Well, that is a crime. It's called murder. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Okay, great.
Who's murdered?
Who is murdered? Let's find out and let's prosecute. That is how you arrest people, guys. That's how you put people in jail. Nobody's in jail. What if Comet Ping Pong was working hand in hand with General Flynn to make you guys all look like assholes?
And then Alex Jones sent a guy in.
Because here, let me make a statement. Because we were on Zoom calls with Mike Smith and Liz Crokin while Elefantis was trolling her live. They were working together, knowing what I know now. Okay?
Absolutely.
They were working together.
Because they're Hollywood elite. Because they're in the Hollywood circles. You know, like Cappy, what Cappy was doing was very interesting because he was like coming out and he was outing these guys a little bit, the Liz Crokin crew, and making some associations. Listening to it now, it's completely different. You know, and so understanding that the way that you prosecute people is that you have to have someone who is willing to testify against them.
And this is political. Pizzagate was like James Elefantis and his creepy Instagram. Instagram was creepy. I'm not going to argue with that. And
Absolutely.
then Maggie Kelly interviewed him and shed a tear and said that you just love children. Look, there's still no victim. Yes, the Instagram is creepy. Can you arrest them for that?
The Podesta art is creepy. Can you arrest them for that?
Yeah.
You can't, guys.
Where's our common sense? That's all I'm asking for is common sense.
We're getting it. We're getting it. We're all on the same track.
I'm learning with you guys. This is like, how do we get through to everybody?
One person at a time.
How is anybody to know what story and what big story is fake and real? Victims.
Evidence.
Sauce.
Evidence would be someone that is willing to testify and explain something that was going on. Like what happened with
And
Diddy.
I'm with you, Red Pill. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Like what happened with Diddy. You know, Diddy ended up with 4 years because of evidence that was submitted to his trial. You know, I mean, it's like the way the government works to prosecute people is very, very unusual. You know, you think about like something like Al Capone. You know, like Al Capone was guilty of murder. Everybody knew he was murdering people. Guess what? You didn't have a victim because he murdered everybody. And then you didn't have anybody that would say that they helped him murder people. So you had to prosecute him on tax fraud. You see, this is what we're trying to explain to you. We're trying to get to the brass tacks and trying to show you that there's a differentiation between things that we think and things that we can prove.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Poso was holding up a sign called Rape Melania. Now he's like some great guy in the Oval Office on Air Force One. Creepy to me. Okay? Creepy to me.
They took a video of the bathroom. Did you see that?
I saw
They took a video of the bathroom on Air Force One. It's like, I mean, this is a guy who wasn't he. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't this guy in the Navy like collecting urine testing? He was like the little pee tester guy, right? In the Navy. Suppose so.
Let's take this out. Let's take this one too. P83 says, was Wiener laptop fake? Wiener's laptop was real, but have you seen the evidence of it? And who was the one that said, if you see what's on there, people were throwing up?
Sidney Powell.
No, it wasn't Sidney Powell. It was that other guy.
Which guy?
That owned Halliburton. What is it? Not Halliburton. What's the other freaking guy?
Help me. I'm not there yet.
Oh, God, help me, guys. Who's the other guy? Somebody said it earlier in chat today. He's another psychological operator. His father did mirrors for GM, and then he has all these. Eric Prince. Thank you, Landa Boy.
Okay.
Prince was behind that. And so was General Flynn. Do you see? Look at who. January 6th is General Flynn.
Exactly right.
Look at all the different coincidences. Pizzagate was General Flynn. Look at this, guys.
But the cooperation is interesting because it was, you know, Sidney Powell put out the video after that was put out, you know, that I was referring to as the video that she did where she's like, that was weaponized during Q.
Mm-hmm. And that's what got us, that hammer and scorecard with Mary Fanning and Sidney Powell, that's what got us kicked off Twitter. Do you know that?
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what got us kicked off Twitter. That psychological operation.
Which took down all of our accounts. Like there was like 16 or 17 accounts that it took down off of YouTube.
It took down Yeah, well, it took down those, and it took down everybody off X. Because most everybody talked about it because we thought it was related to Q, and it wasn't.
And another interesting thing is the whole idea of what happened with Sidney Powell and the, because remember, General Flynn's first attorneys was Eric Holder's law firm. And then all of a sudden he switched to Sidney Powell, and then Sidney Powell and Judge Sullivan worked in tandem to force Donald Trump's hand into giving Flynn a pardon, because the case should have been dismissed and there had been no need for a pardon whatsoever. But instead, Sidney Powell and Judge Sullivan conspired to bring in a fake prosecutor so that they could continue the melee and force Donald Trump to give a pardon, so that we would have a harder time seeing exactly who General Flynn was.
Liberty, why does Trump allow Poso on Air Force One? Ask him. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Poso was outed to us through the Q operation.
He's the one that debunked Q with fake Discord logs. But nobody wants to talk about that. Well, they just want to heroize him and Bannon and all these people that.
But isn't it interesting the crew that was picked to come into the White House that all walked out holding up the Epstein folder? They were like holding up the Epstein. It was like, that was Poso, that was DC Drano, and a number of these other people that are, interestingly enough, always off the mark.
Yeah. Don't forget Lynn Wood. Flynn and Lynn Wood was a fake fight. Because you would choose a side. They just wanted you divided, just like Israel. Just like Antifa wants Israel to make you divided. And who's doing that? Look at all the people that are saying the Jews did it, okay? And there's your answer. You can find it pretty quick. You can map them all out. Candace Owens, the Flynn Network. Even, sadly, what's his name, Shady Groove? We used to like the guy.
Which one?
He's gone full anti-Jew. What's that guy's name? iPod. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had to get rid of him.
Just crazy guys. Yeah, microchip land. Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna bring this in real quick. I want to share this with you guys so you can just see a little bit of an example here of this. I mean, this is today. This right here is a screenshot of the Intel skiff. The question you should be asking yourself is, what exactly is TPUSA and what is their overall objective? I believe you have an idea where I'm headed with this question, that he's responding to a video that it's been posted about by Flynn, by Turning Point USA, collecting everybody's data and using it nefariously at the event for Charlie Kirk's funeral. So they're effectively running a PSYOP over the man's funeral, guys. General Flynn right here. Oh, you dark.
No, just say what he said. What does he say?
Right there, the stupid symbol.
Well, you're right kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are not who they think you are. He is not a man of God. He did the 7 rays for wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What I'm telling you is these people are chaos agents. That's what's their objective. Their objective is to generate chaos. They have my objective is not to generate chaos. My objective is to generate sound thinking.
Trying to figure out the truth, guys.
Trying to figure out the truth. Trying to say, eliminate everything that you can eliminate that isn't true, and what you're left with is what is.
Yeah. Hang loose is what that means. Thank you, guys. I knew the Californians would know that one. Hang loose, bro, right? That's what that is. Right. So, guys, we're not telling people how to think. We're just asking people to think.
You're trying to get you to do it.
And not just believe these narratives that you have no idea who made them and who's funding them. I mean, Sidney Powell's husband was the CEO of Parler and British, nevertheless.
Candace Owens.
Who did I call her?
You just said it was Sidney Powell.
Sidney Powell. Well, Sidney Powell got in big trouble in Florida, okay? Under Pam Bondi's AG. Her foundation got in huge trouble in Florida. You can go dig those records up too. And they all have foundations for a reason. Stupid.
Well, there was roughly the best we could tell about $150 million that was raised off of between Patrick Byrne, General Flynn, Lynn Wood, and Sidney Powell. Between those 4 people, they raised about $150 million telling you that they were going to fight fake election fraud. Okay, so you had the whole military-industrial complex, like Mary Fanning and General McInerney, come out and they introduced this whole thing about Italy stole your election and the machines and all of this different nonsense. And then all these people start coming out with Tory says and file the most unbelievably goofy ass briefs you could possibly ever imagine, and then try to act like that they're somehow fighting for the American patriots. And meanwhile, the end result of all of that $150 million being donated to those four people was that General Flynn and his crew found another 250,000 votes in Arizona for Joe Biden.
Fun.
So that was your election fraud. Joe Biden's votes didn't get counted enough.
And they introduced man, why am I forgetting names today, Shady?
I don't know, but it's like the third time.
Who's the guy that did the PCAPs? Montgomery. They introduced Montgomery to Mike Lindell to screw him over.
Dennis Montgomery, yes, is a Mary Fanning operation, and she's still defending that goofy thing to this day.
Yeah. And you know what, Shady? The truth is bad enough. Happy Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Government shut down for the, 6th or 7th day now? I don't even know. Can't keep up.
Doesn't really matter. I hope that we didn't do I hope that we didn't make everybody mad at us today, but our job is to come here and to get you to sharpen your iron.
Yeah.
Become better. We'll be better tomorrow. Much love.
See you guys tomorrow.
And just like I've told you for many, many years, you don't have to lie about things. You don't have to sensationalize them. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to invent figures. The truth is bad enough. The truth's bad enough. And if you tell the truth, you have credibility. And credibility means people will listen to you. Credibility means things will be tended to. When you lie and people find out that you're lying, and it's easy, it is so easy to discover, then you have no credibility. You become a liar. You become somebody with no confidence factor. You become a rumor monger. You become a minion of the old, who was it? Who was it that was billed as the great deceiver? I wonder who that was. See, whenever you spread a rumor, whenever you tell a lie, whenever you stretch the truth or sensationalize something, and I don't care what the reason is that you do it, you become an ally of the great deceiver. Somebody called him Heinrich Himmler. Somebody else called him Lucifer. Somebody else called him Satan. You can call him anybody you want. But listen to me very carefully. He's not anybody I want around me. His minions are not anybody that I want to know or be associated with or hear from. His minions and allies and supporters are not the people that I care about. You understand? You want to be on his side? Stay the hell away from me. Don't call me. Don't write me. Don't reference me. Don't email me. I don't want anything to do with you. If you're a spreader of rumors and lies and disinformation and sensationalization and all of this other bullshit. Do you hear me, sheeple? I don't know why it makes people so angry. You know, if all get off your butts and do the same research that I do, you would know the same things that I know, and you shouldn't be angry or jealous or upset. What you should be is thankful for having forewarning so that you can act upon it. But do you ever act upon anything? Have you ever? Will you ever? That's the question. That is the hinge upon which the door to the future operates. You don't know that. You don't give a damn, probably. Because to oil the hinge and make the door work and make it all better, you gotta get up off your ass and do something. Oh, heaven forbid you have to do that. Oh my goodness. business, you might even have to take some kind of personal risk. You might even get on somebody's list. Oh, people might even start to respect you because you cease to become worthless. But, oh, who am I to dream like that? Come on, Bill. I mean, you're really getting away with yourself here, dreaming like that. Come on, Bill. Get real.
www.mg.show. Boom.
I'm sure